Good morning, everybody. It's Valentina here from Hello Gorgeous Medical Spa. I am the owner and the physician assistant at Hello Gorgeous, and today we are back for our videos about beauty secrets and some aesthetic topics that we frequently come across here at Hello Gorgeous as injectors. So today our topic is Restylane family of products. And we are going to discuss the difference between different Restylane fillers, and then I'm going to show you what the filler looks like. So I have a little bit of lab here prepared for you. So first of all, this week we are covering this topic today, and then on Thursday Elisa is going to do live video at 11:30 about fillers that most frequently we have questions about because it's relatively new to aesthetics, is the nose filler and the jawline filler. So Elisa is going to talk about that. Again, this is on Thursday. And on Friday we are going to do a topic covering the infusions, vitamin shots and the IV infusions, which is a big topic in itself because it is all about your health, and health right now is really important. So let's start the talk about the Restylane family. So first of all, what is Restylane? Restylane is a facial filler which is hyaluronic acid based gel. It is produced by Nestle company, so it is based of Europe, but it is distributed here in United States and got the FDA approval many years ago. It's been around for decades, and here it's sold through official US distributors. The Restylane is probably one of the safest fillers out there on the market. We have several different companies that produce hyaluronic acid fillers such as Allergan and Merz, but Restylane is probably what I go for if I have any concerns about how the filler is going to behave. And when I speak about Restylane, it's not just one product that it is the whole family of the product that the Restylane umbrella covers. So that's what our topic is about, is to cover the differences between that different Restylane product in the Restylane family. So I will tell you about all of them, and then I will tell you about the ones that I myself prefer and most frequently use. So first we're going to start with the thickest filler, and we're going down to the thinnest. And this is the most difference between the fillers, is the viscosity. So the viscosity, the size of the molecule, and how they're cross-linked, that creates different physical properties. And we use those physical properties to accomplish different goals for the fillers. So the thickest one with the largest molecule, with the largest augmentation, is the Restylane Lyft. So the Restylane Lyft, and I have it to demonstrate for you, it is firmer. It's still gel, it's still flexible, but it's the firmer product of all of them. It is specifically designed to augment, to create the shapes and forms, and to maintain the shapes and forms once injected in the face. So the Restylane Lyft is used for cheeks, so the cheek augmentation. It can be used for to fill in the temples, to reconstruct the jawline and the chin. So something that frames our face, it creates a framework. The areas that Restylane Lyft is not good for is lips and anything superficial. So superficial lines and wrinkles, if the Restylane Lyft injected too close to the surface or in the lip area, because lip area by definition is a closed surface, the product will behave not as good as the thinner product. It may become lumpy. So the Restylane Lyft is something that is a deeper injection. We inject it just above the bone, even sometimes underneath the muscle, or deep dermal. So that's Lyft. So next for the thickness will be Restylane Defyne. So there's two different products, Restylane Refyne and Restylane Defyne. They both have similar qualities because they are cross-linked products, so they are flexible gels. They were specifically designed to create the fill in the areas of a high mobility, such as around the mouth, because we're constantly moving the mouth, so the filler needs to be flexible enough to move with the body tissue without creating lumps or bumps. So the Restylane Refyne and Restylane Defyne is specifically designed and specifically used for the areas around the nasolabial folds, marionette lines, or sometimes the lips, because lips is pretty flexible, pretty mobile area as well. Because it is a newer technology, with this fillers there is much less water attraction, so these fillers have much less recovery. Afterwards they don't have as much swelling. Restylane Refyne is probably my favorite product for lines around the lips, so the small, aka smoker lines with the Restylane Refyne is perfect, and also anything superficial, edged lines around the nasolabial folds, small lines and wrinkles on the forehead. And as opposed to Restylane Lyft, this can be injected superficially and it does not create any issues. And I do have the Restylane Refyne to show you how it feels as a gel. Restylane Defyne is just a little step above of Restylane Refyne in terms of thickness. So Restylane Defyne I would prefer for the same areas, for the same purposes, but for somebody who has more advanced problem, deeper nasolabial folds, deeper marionette lines, and Refyne for a little bit more mild problem. Next product is a regular Restylane, the good old Restylane. It's the first product that came to United States, and this product is still amazing. You know, is sometimes new stuff come up and everything that I'm telling you about is a good product, but you know, the Restylane, regular Restylane is just like they really got it right the first time around. So the Restylane regular, because it is an older product, it does have a little bit of more water traction, so there's a little bit more swelling from this product, but it is amazingly versatile. This product we use for lips. It can be used for lip augmentation, for nasolabial fold, marionette lines, even for the tear troughs, which is area underneath the eye here. It's not too firm to be used for cheeks or jawline, so Restylane Lyft is required, but anything in the soft tissue, regular Restylane is a beautiful product. I love this product also because it's the least chance for any kind of clumps to occur, because this product is completely it separates in the small particles with the pressure. So it is not kind of product that you should be massaging a lot. You should not be doing any massages with a regular Restylane because it will incorporate into the tissue. So for somebody who has issues with lumps or bumps in the past, the regular Restylane could be a way to go. And another beauty of this product is that this can be injected through the cannula. As we talked about before, cannula, it is something that it's not a sharp needle, it's a blunt device that can deliver the products to the area that is not directly attached to where we're trying to inject. For example, nasolabial fold, it's this area here. There is a big vessel, angular artery that goes on the bridge of the nose, and that is main concern when people inject in nasolabial fold, is that if you compress or cannulate this artery, you can create big issues like vascular necrosis. So injecting this area with a cannula is very safe, and Restylane Refyne is the product that goes perfectly through the cannula. Unfortunately, neither Restylane Refyne or Restylane Defyne can be used through the cannula, just because of their rubbery structure. The cannula, you cannot push it through the cannula, so they kind of come back. So we have to go for this option. And then the thinnest product is a Restylane Silk. I do not even have the box right now, guys, to show you, because Restylane Silk is something that I essentially stopped using probably for about a year now. It used to be a nice product. It came out 2016, I want to say, and it came out for a very superficial textural issues. For example, the lips, very subtle augmentation for the lips, small lines and wrinkles around the lips. But the problem with the product is very hydrophilic, so it attracts a lot of water, so there's a lot of swelling, and the longevity of the product I found to be not as good as, for example, using this. So once the Restylane Refyne came out, which came out I think 2 years later, the Restylane Refyne, for me, it replaced the Restylane Silk for all the areas that I'm using. Every injector is different, everybody has different technique, but this is what I found in my practice to be the most beneficial for my clients. So now the small lines and wrinkles I treat with the Restylane Refyne. I don't have any problem with the swelling, and the results lasting beautifully. All right, so who's ready for the lab? Now we are going to show, I'm going to show you how this product look in the, once it's out of syringe. So first I'm going to show you Restylane Lyft. So I just have some in the syringe, and I will inject some of the product onto this mirror so you can see how it's looking. So it's a pretty small needle. So here we go. I'm extruding, just going to extrude all the product, and you see how the product kind of sticks to the needle. So it's not exactly dripping like a water. It's kind of sticks, it stays there. So here is the product on the mirror right here, and it stays. You can see that I'm holding the mirror now this way, and it doesn't drip down, it doesn't displace, and it has a body to it, so it stays, it kind of stays in the same shape where I place it. So it is not like water, it's definitely more of a thicker gel. So this is the Restylane Lyft and Restylane Refyne. By the way, those two are by far the most used fillers of all fillers that I use, including the Juvederm and the Voluma and Radius. The Restylane Lyft and Restylane Refyne, most of the things in the face I can accomplish with those two fillers, and I absolutely love that product. And here is the Restylane Refyne. Restylane Refyne usually comes with a thinner needle, and here I am going to try to put this right next to it. So you see, even as I'm extruding, it's different because this product does drop. So it drops more like a water. And let me try to build like a little bit of volume here. I wish it was, oh, okay, so here you see, here is a little bit more sharp, I think, for you guys. So as I'm keep extruding this product, you can see that it's more thin as opposed to the Restylane Lyft. So here are our two products, and this is the Restylane Refyne, this is the Restylane Lyft. If you see, kind of like a texture of the product is very different. This product here, it looks a little bit more granulated, like there's particles inside. Here it's completely cohesive. So you see all those drops, and now drip looks like a little diamond. So it looks all together. And that's the property of this new Vycrest, of this new technology, Hyalocrest, that creates this nice, smooth, cohesive product. So if I try to touch them, here's the Restylane Refyne. So you see how it sort of sticks to my finger. And kind of like this thing that kids like to play with all over the place. It sticks and then kind of wants to stay together. So that's the Refyne. My finger is absolutely clean after I play with it. And the Lyft, so here's the Lyft. It's different. It does not stick to my fingers in the way, I mean, it sticks to my finger. Actually, there is some on my finger, but it doesn't stick together. So it does not have the same, like here's this. You see how this is more sticking and this is not. So as you just saw, that this product is different, even though it looks about the same, but this product has very different physical properties, and it will behave differently once injected into the tissue. So that's why you have to go to the injector who really understands the difference between those things, because they need to be injected in a different way, on a different levels, and they need to be placed to where this particular physical property is comparable to what we're trying to accomplish. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you were able to visually see what's the product differences is, because a lot of times you may hear, or somebody done particular type of the Restylane, and you may consider doing the same thing, but perhaps a different area of concern that you have, and the injector may recommend a different type of product. And a lot of times this is exactly why, just because they do have different property and we have to utilize them appropriately. I'll tell you a little story. I was working with a physician a long time ago when I first started to do injectables, and he was using Perlene, which used to be a name for Restylane Lyft, and he would use the product for everything in the face. He would use it for temples and for cheeks, for lips, for under eyes, and that's fine, but it does limit you as an injector, and you're not really appropriately using the product to the levels where it's supposed to be. It's like having different colors as a painter. So with one color you can paint one thing. If I have a blue color, I can paint the sky. But if I have blue and red and brown and black, then I can paint, sky and the beach. So you have a little bit of more flexibility in essentially just taking better care of your clients. So having those varieties of fillers, for me personally, is an amazing thing, because I can have all those different colors to paint you a perfect picture. So until next time, we'll see you back here on Thursday at 11:30 with Elisa's episode covering nose fillers and jawline fillers. Have a great day, stay healthy, and I'll see you on Thursday.